What if the words that have comforted millions for thousands of years contain a power that most people have never fully understood? Psalm 23 changes everything. Anxiety about the future, disappointment from the past, uncertainty about the present. Yet hidden within one of the most beloved passages of Scripture lies a pathway back to peace. Not temporary peace, not fragile peace, a deeper peace that remains even when life becomes uncertain. The remarkable thing is that this ancient psalm begins not with fear, but with trust. It begins with a declaration that challenges the mindset of scarcity and replaces it with abundance. Long before modern psychology spoke about gratitude, King David revealed a spiritual principle that changes the way a person experiences reality. Even Jesus echoed this same trust when teaching about divine provision in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 6. But why has Psalm 23 survived wars, empires, generations, and civilizations? Why do its words still move hearts today? And what happens when gratitude becomes more than an emotion and transforms into a spiritual practice? Stay with me, because before this message ends, you may discover that the renewal you have been seeking has been hidden inside these ancient words all along. Before we explore the deeper meaning of Psalm 23, we must understand the condition in which many people begin their mornings. Most do not wake up with gratitude. They wake up with concerns. Their minds immediately move toward responsibilities, unfinished tasks, financial pressures, health concerns, family challenges, and uncertainties that seem to demand immediate attention. Without realizing it, they begin the day from a position of lack rather than trust. This is precisely why the opening words of Psalm 23 carry such extraordinary power. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. These words are often repeated so frequently that their revolutionary message becomes overlooked. David is not merely describing God, he is describing a relationship. A shepherd provides guidance, protection, nourishment, and direction. The sheep do not carry the burden of controlling every outcome. They trust the shepherd. At the heart of this verse lies a profound spiritual law. Gratitude begins where fear ends. The moment a person genuinely believes they are guided, protected, and sustained by a higher wisdom, something inside them starts to relax. The nervous striving that dominates modern life begins to soften. The future no longer feels like an enemy that must be conquered. It becomes a journey that can be trusted. This teaching becomes even more meaningful when viewed through the lens of Jesus. Again and again, he invited people to release anxiety and place their confidence in divine provision. He pointed to birds, fields, and nature itself as evidence that life is sustained by something greater than human effort alone. The message was never passivity. The message was trust. Psalm 23 therefore begins by correcting one of humanity's greatest illusions, the belief that peace will arrive only after every problem is solved. David teaches the opposite. Peace begins when trust appears first. Gratitude emerges when we recognize that we are not walking through life alone. The shepherd is already present, even before the path becomes visible, and this realization changes the entire direction of the soul. The next words of Psalm 23 reveal something equally powerful. David writes that the shepherd makes him lie down in green pastures and leads him beside still waters. At first glance, these images seem simple, yet beneath their beauty lies a profound teaching about spiritual renewal and inner restoration. Green pastures symbolize nourishment, still waters symbolize peace. Both represent conditions that many people desperately seek, yet rarely experience. Modern life trains the mind to remain constantly active. There is always another goal to achieve, another problem to solve, another distraction competing for attention. As a result, many people become physically exhausted and spiritually depleted. David presents a different vision. He describes a life in which the soul is periodically brought into a place of rest. This is not laziness, it is restoration. Every meaningful journey requires moments of renewal. Every strong spirit requires moments of stillness. The shepherd understands this better than the sheep themselves. This principle connects beautifully with gratitude. Gratitude is not merely thanking God when everything goes well. Gratitude is the ability to recognize abundance, even while challenges remain. It is the willingness to see green pastures before reaching the destination. It is the ability to notice still waters, even when storms continue to exist elsewhere in life. The ancient spiritual masters understood that what we focus upon begins to shape our experience. A mind trained only to notice problems becomes imprisoned by them. A mind trained to notice blessings gradually becomes transformed by them. This does not deny reality, it expands it. Perhaps this is why Psalm 23 continues to resonate so deeply across generations. It reminds us that renewal is not found in constant striving. It is found in remembering who guides us. It is found in recognizing what has already been given. It is found in allowing gratitude to become stronger than fear. The psalm is quietly preparing us for a deeper revelation. The shepherd does not merely provide comfort, he restores the soul itself. And in the next chapter, we will discover why this restoration may be the most important gift hidden within Psalm 23. If you've made it this far, it was not by accident. Few are truly ready to go deeper, and that's perfectly fine. If something in you is saying, yes, the study guide's a pinned comment, and the best is yet to come. In the next chapters, you'll discover what could change everything for you. The center of Psalm 23 contains one of the most remarkable statements in all of Scripture. David declares, "He restores my soul." These 4 words may appear simple, yet they contain a spiritual truth that countless people spend their entire lives searching for. Most individuals understand what it means to restore a house, restore a relationship, or restore physical strength. But what does it mean for a soul to be restored? The answer begins with recognizing how easily the human spirit becomes fragmented. Disappointments accumulate, failures leave scars, regrets linger, fear drains energy. Over time, many people lose contact with the deeper part of themselves that once carried hope, confidence, and joy. They continue functioning externally, yet internally something feels diminished, something feels distant. Something feels lost. David understood this reality intimately. His life contained triumphs and victories, but also mistakes, betrayals, battles, and suffering. Yet despite everything he endured, he repeatedly returned to the same conclusion. Restoration was possible. The soul could be renewed. The inner life could be strengthened. What appeared damaged was not beyond healing. This idea becomes even more powerful when viewed through the teachings of Jesus. Throughout his ministry, he encountered people who believed they were beyond restoration. Some carried physical illnesses, others carried emotional burdens, shame, isolation, or hopelessness. Yet Jesus continually demonstrated that no condition had ultimate authority over the human spirit. His presence itself became a force of renewal. The hidden wisdom of Psalm 23 is that restoration does not begin after life becomes perfect. Restoration begins in the middle of the journey. It begins while challenges still exist. It begins when the heart remembers that divine guidance has never abandoned it. Many people postpone peace until circumstances improve. David teaches a different path. He teaches that peace can emerge before conditions change. When gratitude enters the heart, restoration accelerates. Gratitude shifts attention away from what has been lost and toward what remains. It reminds the soul that blessings still exist. It reminds the spirit that hope remains available. It reminds the mind that today's difficulties do not define tomorrow's possibilities. The shepherd is not merely leading David through pleasant landscapes. The shepherd is rebuilding something within him. And as we move deeper into this psalm, we will discover why even the darkest valleys cannot prevent this process of restoration. One of the reasons Psalm 23 continues to inspire people across centuries is because it refuses to ignore life's difficulties. David does not describe a path free from challenges. Instead, he boldly declares, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil." These words reveal a profound spiritual principle that remains just as relevant today as when they were first written. Many people mistakenly believe that faith exists to remove every difficulty, yet Scripture repeatedly teaches something different. Faith does not always eliminate the valley. Faith transforms the way we walk through it. The shepherd's presence becomes more important than the condition of the path itself. The valleys people face today may not resemble those of ancient times. For some, the valley appears as financial uncertainty. For others, it manifests as loneliness, grief, illness, disappointment, or anxiety about the future. The details change, but the experience remains universal. Every human being eventually encounters seasons where the road becomes difficult to understand. David's response is remarkable. He does not deny the existence of danger. He does not pretend the valley is pleasant. Instead, he focuses on a greater reality. The shepherd remains present. This single truth changes everything. Fear loses part of its power when a person realizes they are not walking alone. The teachings of Jesus repeatedly reinforce this principle. Again and again, he encouraged people not to allow fear to dominate their lives. He reminded them that divine presence remains available even in moments of uncertainty. This message has comforted countless generations because it speaks directly to the deepest concerns of the human heart. There is another hidden lesson within the valley. Gratitude becomes most powerful when practiced during difficult seasons. Anyone can be grateful when circumstances are ideal. Yet genuine spiritual maturity emerges when gratitude survives challenges. In those moments, gratitude becomes an act of trust. It becomes a declaration that the valley is temporary, but divine guidance remains constant. Perhaps this is why Psalm 23 continues to renew the spirit every morning. It does not promise a life without valleys. It promises something greater. It promises that no valley possesses ultimate authority over the soul. The shepherd remains present. The path continues forward, and restoration remains possible. Thank you for getting this far. If the awakening of consciousness is hitting you hard, it's a sign that you're ready to go deeper. The study guides are waiting for you in the pinned comments. As we arrive at this point in Psalm 23, the ancient words move from understanding into experience. Throughout this journey, we have explored gratitude, trust, restoration, and the courage to walk through life's valleys. Yet these truths were never meant to remain ideas alone. David wrote them as living realities, meant to be experienced within the heart. For the next few moments, allow yourself to become still. If possible, relax your shoulders and slow your breathing. There is nothing you need to achieve right now, nothing you need to prove. Simply become aware of your presence in this moment. Bring to mind an area of your life where you desire renewal. It may be a relationship, a financial concern, a health challenge, a burden of worry, or a dream that feels distant. Do not analyze it, simply observe it without judgment. Now reflect upon the opening declaration of Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Imagine releasing the need to control every outcome. Imagine placing that burden into the hands of the shepherd. Allow yourself to feel what it would be like to trust that guidance is already available even when the next step is not yet visible. Take a slow breath. As you breathe in, silently say, I am guided. As you breathe out, silently say, I release fear. Again, I am guided. I release fear. Now picture yourself beside still waters. The surface is calm. The air is peaceful. The noise of the world begins to fade. Every anxious thought loses a little of its power. Every burden becomes lighter. Every fear becomes smaller. In this quiet place, repeat these words. My soul is being restored. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now. Allow gratitude to rise naturally. Gratitude for life. Gratitude for breath. Gratitude for the lessons you have learned. Gratitude for the strength that has carried you this far. And remember this truth. The shepherd who guided David through valleys continues to guide every sincere seeker today. Restoration is not a distant promise. It is a process already unfolding within you. Carry this awareness with you throughout your day. Let it shape your thoughts, your actions, and your expectations. The spirit that trusts becomes stronger. The heart that gives thanks becomes lighter. The soul that remains open discovers renewal. Psalm 23 concludes with one of the most beautiful promises ever recorded in Scripture. David declares that goodness and mercy shall follow him all the days of his life. Notice the confidence contained within those words. He does not say goodness and mercy may appear from time to time. He does not say they will arrive only when circumstances improve. He says they will follow him. This is the language of someone who has learned to trust completely in the guidance of the shepherd. The deeper message hidden within Psalm 23 is not simply about comfort, it is about transformation. David begins the psalm by acknowledging divine guidance. He continues through rest, restoration, courage, gratitude, and trust. By the end, he is no longer looking at life through the lens of fear. His circumstances may still contain challenges, but his perspective has changed. And when perspective changes, everything begins to change. This same truth appears throughout the teachings of Jesus. Again and again, he invited people to release anxiety and place their trust in something greater than themselves. He taught that fear narrows vision, while faith expands it. He taught that gratitude opens the heart to possibilities that worry can never see. The transformation always began within, long before it became visible in the outer world. Perhaps this is why Psalm 23 continues to renew the spirit generation after generation. It reminds us that every morning is a new beginning. Every sunrise offers another opportunity to trust. Every breath offers another opportunity to choose gratitude over fear. And every day offers another opportunity to walk beside the shepherd with confidence and peace. The green pastures still exist, the still waters still flow. The path of restoration remains open. No matter what happened yesterday, today carries a new invitation. Trust more deeply, walk more peacefully, and allow gratitude to become the foundation upon which your day is built. I am glad you are here, and I mean that deeply. The fact that you are seeking this knowledge tells me everything about where you are in your journey. Study guides with deeper teachings are waiting for you in the pinned comment below. With gratitude for walking this path together. And before you leave, we would love to hear from you. If you felt a shift in your energy, gained a new insight, or experienced an inner awakening during this message, write the word restoration in the comments below. Your testimony may inspire and encourage many others who are also seeking light, knowledge, and renewal in their lives. We are just scratching the surface of this ancient power. Get ready, because in our next video, I will reveal even deeper Aramaic codes that unlock spiritual authority you've never imagined. Make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on so you don't miss this unfolding revelation. Thank you for being here and for opening your hearts to this ancient wisdom. Your presence in this space is not accidental. It is part of your own journey of growth and transformation. It is an honor to walk this path of discovery alongside you. Until the next revelation, walk in peace, walk in freedom, walk in Ipaphatha.